The commissioner says crime fell 15% last year, including a drop in murders. Tonight on Our News.
The police commissioner telling reporters today that the country ended the year with the largest one-year drop in homicides. It's the greatest decrease since slayings began being tracked more than a half-century ago.
But first, more announcements on Grand Bahama, but still no answer on when Grand Lucayan Resort will reopen. Residents say they are losing patience. And 2 police officers are off frontline duty and before a tribunal after a viral video allegedly shows a traffic stop turning into a bribe attempt. This as police release last year's crime stats. Then in Our News at 7:30, the commissioner rejecting claims from a U.S. prosecutor who said the Bahamas is riddled with corruption, calling it an unfair attack. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News, live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. 2 police officers accused in a suspected bribery scandal are off the streets and now before a police tribunal. Police Commissioner Shannon Knowles confirming the officers have been removed from frontline duties after a video circulating on TikTok appeared to show a traffic stop turning into an attempt to solicit a bribe from a tourist. The 3-minute clip, which surfaced over the majority rule holiday weekend, allegedly shows an officer offering to avoid issuing a ticket in exchange for money. While it's still unclear when the incident took place, the video appears to show a roadblock on Shirley Street with several officers present. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe has said the officer seen in the video is relatively new to the force. Meanwhile, the commissioner says the investigation remains active.
We began an investigation into that matter. 2 officers were investigated and have been placed before our tribunal in that matter. We have quickly removed them from frontline policing. Just thought I'd let you know that. So they are from frontline policing and they are before the tribunal. Once the tribunal case is completed, as policy dictates, then the Commissioner of Police will know what action she will take.
Meanwhile, the commissioner also confirming a coroner's inquest will be held into the death of a man who died while in police custody. The case involves 35-year-old Lashiko Pratt, who died at Eastern New Providence Police Station on December 18th, following what police described as a struggle with 4 officers. The commissioner provided the update this morning during Royal Bahamas Police Force's annual Meet the Press briefing at police headquarters. Pratt's family has maintained he had no known health conditions and believes his death may have involved police brutality. Days after the incident, National Security Minister Wayne Monroe confirmed the encounter was recorded on camera but has not disclosed what the footage shows. The commissioner says the matter remains before investigators, and because of the pending inquest, she says details at this stage are limited.
Yes, unfortunately, an incident did occur at the Fox Hill Police Station that caused the life of a young man who had been in our custody. That matter has now been forwarded to His Majesty's coroner, for an inquest to take place. And so I cannot comment further.
And as police face scrutiny over conduct, the commissioner says crime is down. New figures show overall crime fell 15% last year, with a drop in murders as well. That's according to statistics released by police this morning. Joshua Williams reports tonight on what police say was a record-breaking decline.
The police commissioner telling reporters today the country experienced the largest one-year drop in homicides since stats have been tracked more than half a century ago. And she says that's not the only decrease in major crimes. According to those statistics, crimes against a person decreased by 27%, with 509 incidents in 2025 compared to 696 in 2024. And murders were down significantly.
Murder decreased by a significant 31%, with 83 incidents compared to 120 incidents in 2024. There were 76 murders in New Providence, 4 in the Family Islands, and 3 in Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas District. The overall solvency rate stands at 65%.
When it comes to the demographic for victims, the stats revealing 2025 victims were between the ages of 18 through 45, representing 83% of these murders. Retaliation, gang, and conflict to blame for 43% of the incidents last year. Another violent crime that saw a decrease was armed robberies. That category of crime dropped 39%, with 162 incidents in 2025 compared to 265 in 2024.
Most armed robberies occurred at the street level, businesses, and at residents, respectively. Notably, there were 60 vehicles taken during the commission of these incidents. 38% of the vehicles taken during armed robberies were recovered.
Knowles also reporting that sexual offenses decreased by 17%, with 175 incidents compared to 211 in 2024.
Rape decreased by 18%, with 50 cases compared to 60 in 2024. Unlawful sexual intercourse decreased by 18%, with 115 incidents.
The top cop credits the dent in crime to great policing, pledging to continue building on that plan this year.
The force stands ready to meet every challenge with professionalism, discipline, and resolve. The progress achieved in 2025 proves that strategic intelligence-led policing works, and that integrity, accountability, and community policing and partnerships remain our strongest assets.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Josh. And even as police report a decline in violent crimes, the courts continue to deal with deadly cases from previous years. A Nassau Village man has been sentenced to 7 years and 6 months in prison after admitting to killing a 56-year-old man during a dispute. 38-year-old Reginald Chase pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of Michael Pratt, who died after being beaten with a bat at his Malcolm Road home in June 2023. Chase was originally charged with murder, but the charge was reduced following a plea deal accepted in the Supreme Court. Justice Neil Brathwaite imposed a 10-year sentence, reduced to 7 years and 6 months, to account for time already spent in custody. Overtime pay for public hospital medical staff is now in question after Public Hospitals Authority ran out of funds set aside for those payments. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville confirming he was only alerted to the shortfall days before overtime was due, calling the situation a serious breakdown that must be fixed. The minister spoke to reporters just before a meeting in Grand Bahama Tuesday, saying the issue is now on the agenda and involves talks with the PHA and Ministry of Finance. Dr. Darville stressed that medical workers will be paid for hours already worked.
One of the current concerns that I have is it was brought to my attention days before the payment. I have been back and forth along with the PHA and the Ministry of Finance to resolve the problem. We have another meeting. We have a meeting here today, and I assure our workers at the Princess Margaret Hospital, Rand Memorial Hospital, PHA, and the Department of Public Health that this issue of overtime will be resolved, because when people work, they need to be paid.
Well, the issue has raised alarm bells among health unions, with Consultant Physicians Staff Association and Bahamas Nurses Union warning of a potential strain on the public health care system. The situation intensified after a January 13th internal PHA memorandum directed that overtime payments would no longer be processed without prior approval from the managing director's office. Dr. Darville says there appears to be a communication breakdown between PHA, unions, and government, and he says he's determined to find out how it happened.
The logistics and the challenges that came about as a result of not being informed in time is something that I'm investigating because I do not like it. People are hired to inform us exactly where the budget lines are. I could tell you at the Ministry of Health, we do have challenges. Sometimes we exhaust a budget line, but we know months in advance and we make the representation to the Ministry of Finance to correct it. This was brought to my attention in days and it's created a challenge, but I want to assure the workers, healthcare workers, that once you work, you will be paid.
More promises and policy talk on Grand Bahama, but still no timeline for redevelopment or reopening of Grand Lucayan Resort. For residents looking for clear answers on that key anchor property, Prime Minister Philip Davis says these things take time. The nation's leader, flanked by cabinet ministers, made a series of announcements this afternoon, ranging from utility services to updates on Grand Bahama International Airport and plans for a new cruise port. Our news anchor Megan Shepherd is on the ground.
Today, I want to begin by announcing the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Bahamas and Emera Incorporated relative to the Grand Bahama Power Company.
The Prime Minister says this Memorandum of Understanding reflects a shared commitment to exploring a new path forward for energy in Grand Bahama. When completed, it will mark the first time the government has had control of the power company since the Hawksbill Creek Agreement was signed.
This is important because it will result in universal electricity rates across the Bahamas, ending a long-standing disparity between Grand Bahama and the rest of our country. It matters because it strengthens national energy planning, and it matters because it directly supports our broader energy reform agenda aimed at bringing down the cost of electricity for Bahamian households and businesses.
Davis noting that this is not about control, but rather fairness, affordability, and aligning energy policy with the needs of the people. He also addressed a long-standing bone of contention, the Grand Bahama International Airport.
The government has mobilized Polycon, the construction company carrying out works for the Grand Bahama International Airport. And Polycon has engaged Bahamas Hot Mix to commence on-site preparation works. This marks an important transition from planning into physical activity on the ground, and it reflects our commitment to moving this project forward in a responsible and orderly way. The work is ongoing as I speak.
This progress comes, he claims, as the island's tourism industry is showing real growth, pointing to increased air and sea arrivals. The Prime Minister also spoke to gains in the economy, evidenced in growth in the transportation, small business, and hospitality sectors.
Phase 1 of the Grand Bahama International Airport redevelopment represents a critical part of this growth strategy. With a capital expenditure of over $100 million, Phase 1 will deliver a new modern terminal designed to accommodate demand of up to 500,000 passengers.
Davis telling Grand Bahamians just yesterday, government signed off on another major relaunch of their economy.
Through MSC's major cruise terminal investment in Freeport Harbor. This is a serious expansion with real scale. MSC Cruises, through its affiliate and development company, will develop a new cruise ship pier, complex, and berthing area at Billy Key property in the city of Freeport, alongside new visitor and commercial infrastructure.
And when it comes to the long-awaited Grand Lucayan Resort,
we are making steady progress. It is a complex transaction requiring careful sequencing. It requires proper approvals, coordination, and structured execution. That is exactly how we're approaching it. I understand the anxiety people feel. I understand the frustration when the pace feels longer than anyone wants. I also understand the temptation for some to turn every stage of work into drama, to create noise and to claim failure before the work reaches its next phase.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
I want to begin.
All right, thanks for that, Megan. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he is in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendine, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. Beautiful evening setting up. A little on the windy side. Temperatures a comfortable 67 degrees with a few passing clouds. Northeast winds at 18 miles per hour. It feels like temperature is at 65. Temperatures right and around the family of islands. This is how we're shaping up. We are in the 60s, low 60s across Freeport, Grand Bahama, and in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, 63 there. 65 in Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key. We pick up 67s in Nicholstown, North Andros here in the capital. Over in Governor's Harbor, 69. Into the Central Bahamas, 70 in Kemps Bay, 69, Arthurstown, Cat Island, 72s, Black Point, Exuma, and in Copen Townsend, Salvador. Pair of 74s in Georgetown, Exuma, and Port Nelson, Rum Key. Deadman's Key, Long Island, 75, and you have some showers nearby. 77 in Duncantown, Ragged Islands, also in Abrahams Bay, 75s. Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Acklands, and a pair of 78s, Matthewtown, Inagua, and Providenciales, Turks, and Gigas Islands at this hour. Satellite radar composite, this is what's happening out there. We have a frontal boundary now approaching the Acklands and the Crooked Island area, should be moving into the Maguana area as we speak later on this evening. Mostly stratiform clouds, not producing much in terms of any rainfall. It's mainly going to be a dry evening, but the winds are going to continue to be a little on the breezy side for most of the islands. But we expect those winds to start to die off tomorrow. We expect winds to fall off 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas, staying a little stiffer across the central and southeastern islands. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a look at your complete forecast when we come back.
Coming up in sports, huge news. VJ is headed to LA. Not in a trade or anything. It's also our weekend stuff. This is a business trip. Sure of it.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
When I started in telecommunications in 1998, I was bored and overwhelmed because I said, this is the best kept secret in the world.
The Bahamas issued a call for a cable license.
So we were a startup, a brand new entity in a brand new country with a product that nobody really understood.
People didn't believe, it was difficult. Ingram said that will never happen.
They turned us down, and Phil decided, you know what? Well, we're gonna chart our own destiny, and we're gonna build our own network.
Once you started to hear about cable TV, it really didn't make any difference because your reality was, okay, we're going to have one more channel. And you didn't think it was going to have such an impact until you got it.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, from the teams you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
It's more than a podcast. It's a movement. This is Breaking the Silence with Junior Clovis, where conversations we avoid finally have a place to breathe. Every story.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by Tantier Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. From opening night, it was pretty clear. VJ Edgecombe didn't just belong in the NBA, but he's destined to be a star. We know it, the basketball world knows it, and now he'll have his first appearance among the best in the league at NBA All-Star Weekend. Definitely will not be the last. Edgecombe has been named to the roster for the NBA's Castrol Rising Stars game, a showcase of the league's premier young talent featuring the NBA's top rookies and second-year players. The game will be played February 13th at the Intuit Dome, part of NBA All-Star 2026. New format, the event features a mini-tournament with players drafted onto 4 teams and playing in 3 games. You've got Hall of Famers Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady serving as honorary coaches, and Austin Rivers will coach the G League Rising Stars.
The VJ News may be the only good NBA news Monday. It was a rough night on the court for everyone else. Let's go around the NBA where there were some modest numbers from the field and some lopsided losses for Bahamians on the court. In Minnesota, Buddy Hield and the short-handed Golden State Warriors fell 108-83 to the Timberwolves. VJ Edgecombe and the Philadelphia 76ers struggled in a road game against the Hornets with a 130-93 loss. DeAndre Ayton and the Los Angeles Lakers were the only ones to get a win, 129-118 over the Chicago Bulls.
So things didn't work out in the NBA last night. Let's try the G League then. We got a career high on the court. Franco Miller Jr. is making the most of his opportunities with the Santa Cruz Warriors. With increased time, we've seen the numbers improve across the board. Monday night, Miller scored a career high 21 points to go along with 8 rebounds in a 126-113 loss to the Salt Lake City Stars. It was just the latest game in Miller's progression. He also had a 16-point, 7-rebound, 5-assist game over the weekend against the Sioux Falls Skyforce. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as thousands of flights were canceled and delayed across the U.S. Now the Transportation Secretary says air travel could be back to normal by midweek. Plus, after a Minnesota man was killed by federal officers, the White House blaming sanctuary policies and calling for Congress to act. And a landmark case testing whether social media companies can be held liable as a teenager claims the platforms fueled addiction and harm. The story when our news returns.
It's more than a podcast. It's a movement. This is Breaking the Silence with Junior Clovis, where conversations we avoid finally have a place to breathe. Every story, every struggle, every breakthrough is brought to light, unfiltered and unspoken until now. Join us this Sunday at 2 p.m. as we confront the topics that matter, share real experiences, and change the conversation around mental health together. Watch, listen, break the silence.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace. Listen to understand. Respectful conversations lead to real solutions. I am Sergeant 3599 Johnson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, urging you, let's talk it out, not fight it out.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. air travel disruptions from a massive winter storm could ease by midweek. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy telling CNBC flights are targeting a return to normal by Wednesday as the Federal Aviation Administration continues to recover. Speaking on Squawk Box, Duffy said the storm's combination of snow, ice, and extreme cold created a unique challenge with runway clearing and staffing compounding delays. According to FlightAware, airlines canceled more than 15,000 flights over the weekend, making Sunday the worst day for cancellations since early 2020, with thousands more disruptions continuing into Monday.
Some still have to travel and they were canceled, and so we're going to have more capacity as we come back to a full running schedule. So you'll expect more full flights as you fly this week, just as people are going to their destinations. But again, Wednesday is our target date to get back to normal.
Meanwhile, the White House is defending federal immigration enforcement after a Minnesota man was killed by federal officers, calling the incident a tragedy but blaming local sanctuary policies. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said President Donald Trump does not want people hurt on U.S. streets, but claimed Democratic leaders in Minnesota created conditions that led to the deadly encounter. The administration now urging Congress to end sanctuary cities while federal investigations into the shooting continue. Big tech giants Meta, platforms TikTok and YouTube are facing courtroom scrutiny in California as a trial alleging social media is fueling a youth mental health crisis gets underway. According to Reuters, the case is seen as a test for thousands of similar lawsuits nationwide, challenging big tech's long-standing legal shields. The plaintiff, a 19-year-old woman, claims the platform's design addicted her at a young age and contributed to depression and suicidal thoughts. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg expected to testify, with the companies denying responsibility. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was January 27th. Then in our news at 7:30.
Property crimes were down 11% in 2025. Tonight in our news, we bring you more from the commissioners Meet the Press.
But first, 3 police officers have been placed before a tribunal as the search continues for an accused killer who escaped from court. The story when our news returns.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
Too many suffer in silence, but silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Sinead Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us build safer communities together. Do you think you know domestic violence? Think again. It is not just physical, emotional, financial, or sexual abuse, and it doesn't discriminate. If you feel intimidated, harassed, or manipulated,
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1778, during the American War of Independence, U.S. Marines raided Nassau under cover of darkness, capturing Fort Nassau and forcing the surrender of Fort Montague. They seized gunpowder, spiked the cannons, and left with more than 300 guns and captured ships. Then in 1958, the House of Assembly sat through one of the longest and stormiest sessions in modern history, sparked by a request from Governor Sir Raynor Arthur to deploy British troops in Nassau. In 2012, some 65 workers lost their job with the closure of Robin Hood's Tonic Williams Darling Highway store after the company posted a $3.6 million loss. And in 2021, Lovato Duncanson was appointed acting parliamentary commissioner. If you want to learn more about the events that shaped the day that was January 27th, head over to rnews.bs. And of course, you can find all of today's top stories also at rnews.bs, and you can share your favorite stories right from the R News Bahamas Facebook page. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. But up now, our Talia Hall. She has got the latest headlines. Natalia.
Happy Tuesday, Candido. I know we don't have much time tonight.
We do not have much time, but I know we've got a lot more news coming out of your hometown tonight.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure. Coming up, the Environment Minister weighs in on the GIN project in West Grand Bahama. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on our news at 7:30, Police Commissioner Shanti Knowles is rejecting comments made by a U.S. attorney who claimed the Bahamian system is riddled with corruption. Her response follows the sentencing of former Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker in a cocaine smuggling case. Also, police are reporting a noticeable decline in crimes against people and property, along with fewer house and shop break-ins. The figures were released today. Plus, police are still searching for accused killer D'Angelo Culmer, who escaped from the Magistrates Court complex last October. We have an update. And later, Environment Minister Zane Lightbourne says the government is encouraged by progress on several key projects, including the long-stalled GIN development project in Grand Bahama. The story when our news at 7:30 returns.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Hello. What do I have in my biggie bag? Fries, nuggets, a chicken sandwich, an apple pie, a free apple pie. It also comes with a drink. You know what? A biggie bag a day keeps the hunger away.
For a limited time only, get a free apple pie with the purchase of the Biggie Bag.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here,
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. First tonight, Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles slamming comments made by a U.S. attorney who recently launched an attack on the Bahamian government, claiming the entire system is infected with drug money and corruption. Her comments come nearly a week after former Defense Force Chief Petty Officer Darren Roker was handed a 4-year jail sentence for facilitating cocaine smuggling to the United States. Roker is the first of 13 people to be sentenced in a massive corruption case involving police officers and a high-ranking Bahamian politician, according to an unsealed U.S. indictment. Martin Raw told a U.S. District Court that the entire system in the Bahamas, including the police, defense officials, and government personnel, are corrupt. Commissioner Knowles wasn't happy with the characterization, saying the organization should not be judged by actions of a few.
I'm offended by his remarks. To believe that because he has represented one person who's accused of crimes against his country, that he would want to cast such aspersions on my officers in our country. If you look at the work that we have done over the past year, you will see that that statement certainly is not true. We have decent police officers, and other law enforcement agencies have decent officers who give their best to their community. One bad apple does not spoil the entire bunch.
Well, a noticeable drop in crimes against people and property, along with a dip in house and shop break-ins and burglaries. All this painting a positive picture for police. During the release of their annual statistics today, our Joshua Williams was at the police headquarters for the Top Cops Meet the Press.
Major crimes were not the only crime category that saw a double-digit dip last year. Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles revealing that property crimes were also down 11%. She credited her officers for sticking to the policing plan last year. Record-breaking drops in murder, armed robberies, and sexual offenses highlighted this year's crime stats at the Commissioner's annual Meet the Press. And the news kept getting better for a force seemingly unable to break the cycle in the past.
Housebreaking decreased by a significantly 49%. Burglaries decreased by 28%, and shop break-ins decreased by 13%.
Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles proudly boasted these stats are the lowest since record-keeping started back in 1963. Robberies also decreased by 22%, with 46 incidents in 2025 compared to 59 in 2024. Men represented 93% of victims compared to 7% women. On the downside, there was a slight increase in stolen cars, 398 cases compared to 392 in 2024, a 2% increase. Stealing from vehicles also increased by 7%, with 200 incidents compared to 187 the year before.
Nissan make vehicles continue to be the most targeted, representing 75% of all vehicles stolen. The Nissan Cube and Note were the predominant models stolen, while residents were the most targeted location. 59% of all vehicles stolen in 2025 were recovered.
The first female commissioner, now more than a year in office, also revealing her 2026 policing plan with several priorities, saying despite their success, officers have their work cut out for them.
As we prepare to navigate evolving challenges, I have charted a course using key performance indicators and measurable outcomes designed for optimal success. These benchmarks will serve to evaluate our progress across priority areas and strengthen our focus on service delivery, accountability, and public trust.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much for that, Josh. Well, police are still looking for an accused killer who escaped from the Magistrates Court complex on South Street in early October. Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles confirming that 3 officers have been placed before the tribunal in connection with the case. The escapee is 35-year-old D'Angelo Culmer. He's described as light-skinned with a tattoo of a lip on his neck. Another distinguishing tattoo is the name Natasha on his right chest. Culmer was wearing a light blue shirt and blue jeans when he was last seen. As for the officers who are in hot water over the escape, Commissioner Knowles gave this update.
3 officers were identified and placed before the tribunal, the police tribunal. Out of that number, 1 of them has been interdicted and another one is expected to be interdicted in the next week or so until that trial is completed. So D'Angelo Culmer is not in custody. We appeal to those who may have information as to where he is to please give us the information so that we can put him back into prison where he belongs until his trial is adjudicated in the courts.
2 adults and 3 juveniles are facing charges after a 15-year-old male student at Anatole Rogers High School was allegedly attacked with a tire iron last week. Prosecutors allege that 40-year-old Jamiko Powell and 20-year-old Doyle Bastian and 3 boys, all age 16, broke Principal Ricardo Patterson's right ring finger when he intervened. The accused denied assault with a dangerous instrument and causing grievous harm charges when they stood before Senior Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. The charges stem from an incident at the school around 4:30 p.m. on January 24th. Bail was set at $5,000 and the matter is set for April 22nd for trial. Powell, Bastian, and 2 of the teens are also accused of threatening to harm a 13-year-old girl who attends the school on the same date. They denied that charge and were each granted $1,000 bail. The trial date for that matter is also set for April 22nd. Switching gears now, farmers in the Bonefish Pond area say crumbling roads, flooding, and a lack of basic infrastructure are threatening both their livelihoods and their safety. They're now calling on government to step in, saying years of letters and promises have led to little action, As our Delvado Emmanuel tells us, their concerns have reached the agriculture minister, who says those frustrated farmers will have their issues addressed.
We need it fixed for security, for when we have fires through here, for fire engines to get through. We need some lighting. We don't want to have no more deaths.
That's Jane Brennan, farmer and co-owner of HomeAway Farm, talking about poor road conditions in the area located just off Marshall Road. For nearly a decade, dozens of farmers operating in the Bonefish Pond farming community say poor road conditions have made daily life and business increasingly difficult. They insist the deteriorating dirt road has become a barrier to farming, emergency access, and personal safety. In a distress call to our news, Clarence Sargent, a local farmer and one of the directors for a Bonefish Pond farm, said the issue has gone on long enough.
You can't even get out here. The water can't catch you by your knee. Every time it rains for 2 minutes, that's water. So we're only asking for the government to pay attention, at least give us some help. We ain't looking for much. We ain't looking for the world. We ain't looking for half an hour. We need help.
This video footage captured by Sargent shows the daily struggles they encountered when it rains.
It isn't easy in the back here. That's why a lot of farmers come here and they just give up because there's no hope. When you look around, it's like no hope.
Now, with this area already linked to several major crimes, farmers say the lack of lighting is adding to their growing concerns.
We've not had 1, 2, 3 murders in the back here. We want a stronger police presence because the road fixed, the police are able to traverse back and forth. We need lighting because that, like I said, it's a major concern. This isn't just farm. Persons live in the back here.
I reached out to the minister responsible for agriculture, Jomo Campbell, for his take on the issues. Here's his response.
We share their concerns. We know there have been long-standing issues, especially safety concerns with lighting, etc., and as well as environmental impact assessments being carried out. And so they should be hearing from us in short order.
Reporting for our news, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvado. Well, cool weather conditions in the capital on this Tuesday and in Grand Bahama. A significant shift. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Tuesday evening, everybody. There's a big difference in temperatures between the Northwest Bahamas and the Southeastern Islands. But here in the capital, we are settling into the upper 60s. 67 is our current temperature. A few clouds, they are quickly in passing. The winds out of the northeast at 18 miles per hour. That's helping those clouds move along. And your field side temperature is a comfortable 65 degrees. Satellite radar composite, frontal boundary now down near the Southeast Bahamas, moving into the Aucklands and Crooked Island as we speak. Should be moving into the Maguana area as well. Mostly dry clouds behind it. Not much in terms of any rainfall, but we still have the winds out there still, posing a bit of problems for boating and beaching. We expect those winds to fall off tomorrow and back down to about 10 to 15 knots across the Northwest Bahamas. Still a little breezier across the Central and Southeastern Islands, but those winds will be falling off and we expect a more significant front by Saturday, Sunday time frame. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, Environment Minister Zane Lightbourne says the government is encouraged by progress on several key projects, including the Longstall Gin Development Project in West Grand Bahama. Also founded in 1968, the Grand Bahama Humane Society continues its mission of animal welfare and education. Tonight on Grander View, the organization's president discusses its outreach efforts and lasting impact. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
When I started in telecommunications in 1998, I was bored and overwhelmed because I said, this is the best kept secret in the world.
The Bahamas issued a call for a cable license.
So we were a startup, a brand new entity in a brand new country with a product that nobody really understood.
People didn't believe, it was difficult. Ingram said that will never happen.
They turned us down, and Phil decided, you know what? Well, we're gonna chart our own destiny, and we're gonna build our own network.
Once you started to hear about cable TV, it really didn't make any difference because your reality was, okay, we're going to have one more channel. And you didn't think it was going to have such an impact until you got it.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages. And of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, from the teams you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules.
Environment and Natural Resources Minister Zane Lightbourne was also in Grand Bahama today, taking part in the weekly cabinet meeting. While acknowledging that progress may not be moving as quickly as hoped, the minister says the government is encouraged by continued movement on several key projects. Among those projects is the Longstall Gin development, now under new ownership after Coakley International successfully won the government bid. The project has recently gained renewed attention following confirmation that a deposit of more than $2 million has been made to government, signaling serious intent by the developers. The minister was specifically asked about the Gin project and what the redevelopment could look like from an environmental standpoint, given the scale and history of the property.
The environmental concerns are a priority. That's primary before we can do anything. And so we are just making sure that we cause development not to be delayed, but to happen in a safe way, sustainable way for Bahamians. So this is a major development. It's very significant because we know that side of the island historically has had activity. That's where the city was. And so, that's where the city is, or the capital is. And so we expect that great things will continue to happen here.
Well, still on Grand Bahama, founded in 1968, the Grand Bahama Humane Society has been doing its part to house stray animals, provide spay and neuter services, and more. But they've also been doing their part to spread awareness, particularly to the next generation of Grand Bahamians. In the Grander View, we continue to highlight the invaluable work of the GBHS, and tonight the President shares with our news anchor Megan Shepard another important aspect of their work.
President of the Grand Bahama Humane Society, Tiffany Dennison, says another important goal of theirs is to teach responsible pet ownership, something that helps keep pets safe, healthy, and off the streets. She says they try to spread this message as early as possible, often hosting summer camps and conducting school visits.
We do anything we can to educate the children, because obviously that's where it all starts, isn't it? Knowing that
responsible dog and cat ownership, pet ownership, knowing how to treat them properly so you get the maximum love out of them, and protection and just the joy of having an animal. So pet ownership is something we try to go to the schools and teach, to the assemblies as often as we can. And we'll take a dog, maybe not a squirmy one like this one, but we'll take a dog with us, and the kids love it.
Dennison says the children are always very engaged and ask a lot of questions.
So we're hoping that, the future will change somewhat with the kids, and they'll understand that spaying and neutering is very, very important for everybody, not just for the dogs, but for our island as a whole.
Now she admits that they've seen a 50% increase in pet surrenders in recent months. Part of the reason why they want to push the message of responsible pet ownership.
Responsible pet ownership is when you buy your pet, it's for life. You are everything to these animals. They're just your animal, but to them, you are everything. There's all kinds of things that can, they can, just like us, they need to go to the doctor, they need an annual checkup, they need their shots, their preventative medicine, they need good food, they need love, they need exercise, and that's responsible pet ownership. They can't be just tossed in a backyard, tied to a tree so that they're going to protect the tree? They're going to bond with the tree? No. That's not how that works.
And with operation expenses estimated at $900,000 a year, Dennison is appealing to the public for assistance, whether at the local office, their secondhand shop on Eastball Drive, or online.
And you can sponsor an animal. If you go online onto our website and you see a dog and you're like, oh, I love that dog, but I can't take it home, so I'm going to go ahead and donate X amount per month for the food for this dog or for this cat or whatever, or the medicine. So you can even sponsor an animal. So that's a good way of having a pet without having the responsibility of having a pet, but it definitely helps the pet and helps us.
Dennison also suggests signing up for membership.
When we give out memberships for a year, it also gives you a lot of concessions at other stores, like Kelly's, you get certain amounts off, Paint Fair, you get amounts off. So even our membership, which is, if everybody was a member, they'd have all the information that they needed for the Humane Society.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
Coming up in sports, we're heavy on the hoops today. BJ is headed to the Rising Stars game, a forgettable night for our guys in the NBA, and Franco's finding his way in the G League.
We are on our...
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the teams you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seat belts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
It's more than a podcast. It's a movement. This is Breaking the Silence with Junior Clovis, where conversations we avoid finally have a place to breathe. Every story, every struggle, every breakthrough is brought to light, unfiltered and unspoken until now. Join us this Sunday at 2 p.m. as we confront the topics that matter, share real experiences, and change the conversation around mental health together. Watch, listen, break the silence.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. From opening night, it was pretty clear. BJ Edgecombe didn't just belong in the NBA, but he's destined to be a star. We know it, the basketball world knows it, and now he'll have his first appearance among the best in the league at NBA All-Star Weekend. definitely will not be the last. Edgecombe has been named to the roster for the NBA's Castrol Rising Stars game, a showcase of the league's premier young talent featuring the NBA's top rookies and second-year players. The game will be played February 13th at the Intuit Dome, part of NBA All-Star 2026. New format, the event features a mini tournament with players drafted onto 4 teams and playing in 3 games. You've got Hall of Famers Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady serving as honorary coaches, and Austin Rivers will coach the G League Rising Stars. Semifinals will be played to 40 points. Championship game will be decided by the first team to reach 25. Edgecombe has appeared in 41 games this season for the Sixers, averaging 15.4 points, third among rookies, along with 5.3 rebounds and 4.1 assists. He's only one of 2 rookies this season, averaging at least 15 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists per game. He's got 11 games where he's scored more than 20, which ranks third among rookies. Defensively, he's been a force. 26 steals through January, the second most in the league, and leading rookies at 1.5 steals per game. We all remember the legendary night when he made his debut on October 22nd against the Celtics. He scored 34 points to set a new franchise record for the highest scoring debut in 76ers history, surpassing Allen Iverson. It was also the 3rd highest scoring output ever in a debut game.
The VJ News may be the only good NBA news Monday. It was a rough night on the court for everyone else. Let's go around the NBA where there were some modest numbers from the field and some lopsided losses for Bahamians on the court. In Minnesota, Buddy Hield and the short-handed Golden State Warriors fell 108-83 to the Timberwolves. He played 29 minutes but shot 2 for 10 with 5 points and 3 assists. BJ Edgecombe and the Philadelphia 76ers struggled in a road game against the Charlotte Hornets with a 130-93 loss. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds, but the 76ers fell behind big early and never recovered. DeAndre Ayton and the Los Angeles Lakers were the only ones to get a win. 129-118 over the Chicago Bulls. He struggled from the field as well, 6 points and 2 rebounds in 22 minutes.
So things didn't work out in the NBA last night. Let's try the G League then. We got a career high on the court. Franco Miller Jr. is making the most of his opportunities with the Santa Cruz Warriors. With increased time, we've seen the numbers improve across the board. Monday night, Miller scored a career high 21 points to go along with 8 rebounds in a 126-113 loss to the Salt Lake City Stars. It was just the latest game in Miller's progression. He also had a 16-point, 7-rebound, 5-assist game over the weekend against the Sioux Falls Skyforce. Miller is also in the mix for fan support at the 2026 NBA G League game. Fans have until January 30th to vote their favorite player to participate in the All-Star Weekend G League Showcase. Drafted 58th overall by the Warriors, Miller's averaging 7.6 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Okay, so it's definite VJ will be in LA. Answer right now. Will he do the dunk contest?
No, because LeBron never did it.
All right, I'm sure people will be very rational about this and nobody on the internet will freak out. Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, nice weather conditions in the capital on this Tuesday. Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
Conflict doesn't have to end in chaos. Before it escalates, take a breath. Step back. Choose peace. Listen to understand. Respectful conversations lead to real solutions. I am Sergeant 3599 Johnson of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, urging you, let's talk it out, not fight it out.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30.
This is our news. Welcome back. Frontal boundary now down near the southeast Bahamas with a lot of cloud mass behind it extending across most of the chain of islands. Not producing much in terms of any rainfall, but the winds are still a bit on the windy side out there, so we're asking you boaters in the beachgoers to continue to stay out of the waters as we expect those winds to continue overnight. Should stay near the advisory levels across the Atlantic as those seas are going to be slow to subside. But this high is going to continue to push towards the south. That cold air mass will invade us. We will begin a slight warm-up, but we are not expecting much in terms of any significant warm-up. But we do expect a more significant front to be getting in here. That front is actually going to be taking shape across the far western portions of the United States, and that will be making its trek across us by Saturday, Sunday time frame. We expect it to get in here, and it's going to be very windy. So we're asking you boaters and beachgoers to actually continue to monitor progress of the advancement of that front. Future forecast showing the moisture across the central and southeastern islands associated with the boundary moving across that area. Most of the activity staying out there in the open Atlantic. May have even an isolated thunderstorm with those yellow spots popping up, and that should take us through Thursday, but most of the activity staying out there. Reinforcing cold air will be getting into our area, so nice conditions expected. Advisory for the Atlantic side in northwest Bahamas. High risk of rip currents out there. Your winds will be out of the north to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet near shore waters, but building up to 5 to 8 feet offshore and in Atlantic waters in some northeasterly swells. Low tide is at 8:32 tonight. The high tide takes place at 3:11 in the morning. For the southeast and central islands, advisory in place for you down there as well. Northeast to east winds 15 to 20 knots. They will be gusting high at times. Seas running 4 to 6 feet in near shore waters, building 5 to 8 feet offshore. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, I want you to take a look at Sunday. That's when we expect that front to get near. But in the meantime, temperatures will stay in the 70s during the day throughout the remainder of the week. 60s at night, but that front is coming through on Sunday. That's going to be a potent front. Temperatures will take a dip, big dip, into the 60s, and we will continue that for the beginning of next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. And thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
And cost.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from